Hello, and welcome back to this week's episode of Yip to My App. I'm still Arca Star, and I'm gonna tell you about my first time doing Pilates because the bitch is feeling skinny. Let me give you guys some context about my fitness goals, what I've been doing to work out, over the past 7 years, and the type of body that I want and all that, because I think that I am on the reverse end, right? Yeah, the reverse end of a very popular argument, which is I don't want to lift weights because I think I'm going to be bulky. Now, I didn't think that doing Pilates would make me slim, but I did know that if all I did was Pilates, I'm going to be like a little thing, which is fine for some people, but not for me. I like being thick. So I've held off doing Pilates for a while, not because of the way I thought it would make me look, not because, I thought it was nothing in comparison to lifting weights. It's because a bitch was scared. Like, Pilates is scary. Like, I think, and this was years ago, I saw a video of like football players doing Pilates, and I was like, okay, so clearly it's hard. I have never doubted any form of working out because if you simply don't work out a certain group of muscles just because you're strong everywhere else, doesn't mean that you're strong there. So if that's something you need to learn, I'm telling you. So, at the beginning of my fitness journey, I started off at 85 pounds. I was also like 18 years old, and I'm 25, and I'm 150 pounds. Yesterday, I was 151, but it fluctuates. But my goal for all this time has been 150. And now that I'm here, I'm like, okay, I bulked and cut and bulked and cut and then got stuck at 127. Then I got stuck at 135, and then I took creatine. And I have gone through all the ups and downs of working out because this is my thing. This is my life. This is 80% of my fucking personality. So I did like the German volume training at one point. I was doing all the stupid Instagram booty band workouts and all that. Then I did glute focus regimen. I've done so much. I've done everything but diet, honestly, when it comes to weight training. Dieting, I don't know. I don't want to look at a chocolate cake and vomit. And even though I don't like cake, I want to have, the feeling that I could have a little piece of cake if I wanted a piece of cake without like killing myself. So yeah, that's where I stand with working out. Like, as you guys can see, I've got, broad shoulders, some big old traps, but that's what happens when you deadlift. It is what it is. So, I have an upcoming trip to Puerto Rico. I'm actually going tomorrow. So the Pilates isn't, to prep for Puerto Rico. But for the past month and a half, I'm like, yo, I need to work on this stomach because with a fat ass comes a stomach. And that's everybody tells. It's not like no one tells you that. Everybody tells you that, but then you just don't believe it, and you be like, nah, I could work out. No, muffin top was muffining, and I was like, whoa, because I'm going to be on an island. Now, I don't know about you, but my island outfits are strictly like bra-looking tops with like little skirts and stuff, and there's less opportunities for things to be high-waisted and having like a faja, pretty much in your outfit. So I was like, yeah, we got to work on this stomach. So I've been doing core workouts, and it's been great. Core workouts, amazing. Good for all the muscles in there. But I felt like I was missing something. I feel like I'm not getting pushed. So because I have the background with weightlifting, I'm very used to, taking, honestly, sometimes even like fucking 6 minutes in between sets because I want to put all my power and all my strength into a set. So I was like, you know what? I have a little more money to play around with right now. I can pay for classes. Cause that was another thing. Pilates, you got to pay per fucking class. And if you pay for the unlimited, you're balling because I wouldn't. And so I was like, you know what? I think we're going to do the thing. I've been hearing more about it just because one of my friends works at a Pilates studio. Like, just the terms and stuff are just a lot more in my space. I've done some video gigs and I've done like ads for reformers. So I'm just like, like for whatever reason, I'm slowly getting more and more immersed with Pilates or immersed in Pilates, whatever. So I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do it. Now, every time I make a big change in any part of my routine, I go big or go home. So I thought about it, and that same day, I booked a class for the next day, and I didn't go with anyone. My biggest thing was like I always wanted to go with someone because it's nice to go with someone who knows the damn machine, and it's an intimidating environment. They got like flashy lights and shit, and it's very like I know it's intimidating to go into like my bodybuilding gym. So yeah, it's just as intimidating to go into a space where, especially from my body type, everyone knows that this is not something that I do. So that was that. I was super nervous walking there. I was like, oh my God, like, do I have all the right things? Like, I know I need grippy socks. I'm going to buy the grippy socks when I get there. I know I need water. Am I going to be allowed to drink water? All this stuff. Am I even going to get a full workout? And I was a little prepared to leave there and go to the gym because I thought I wasn't going to feel the full effects or feel things where I wanted to feel them or anything. So I was having all these feelings. I get inside. The receptionist, not my cup of tea. But everyone else was, well, all the other workers were lovely, great, cool. I go into the locker room and I act like I know what I'm doing. I act like I know which locker I'm going to. I act like, fake it till you make it. And there were two things I noticed. I was the only not white person there, and I was the heaviest person there. And like, I'm not one to complain about, being in a space with predominantly white people. I'm fine. It's fine. I get it. It's fine. But being the heaviest one, that was new. That was new. And I wasn't even like, I don't know, my dog is barking at the neighbors. He's really annoying. I'm just going to hold him here. When it comes to my weight, I take pride in my weight just because like it took forever for me to gain this weight. Like it's not easy for me to gain weight, and it's also not easy for me to maintain muscle. So that wasn't the issue. It's just that I have really never been the heaviest person in the room almost ever. Like noticeably heavy. Like you look at me, you look at the other girls, you know that like the next weight down from me is probably like 120. I'm like, that's a 30-minute pound gap. 30-minute pound gap. Wow. Excuse me. 30-pound gap. And I don't know. I was like, this is scary. And then by the end of the workout, I kind of flipped it. And I was like, you know what? All these other girls are pushing less weight than I am. I got through this workout with 30 more pounds on me. That's how I took it after that. So it was certainly an experience. I walk in, the lights are purple. Cool. They got music that I know playing. I'm like, okay, cool. The instructor walks in. And so this is one of my takes. If you're going to be a fitness instructor of any sort, you got to have a nice body. I'm not going to trust you if you look, not like something I want to look like, She had nice curves, her butt popping, her waist non-existent. She had nice hair. She was pretty. I said, oh, and you pretty? She was delicious. So I was like, okay, cool. And she was like super sweet and stuff. And I was like, okay, cool. This is nice. I don't know. I just feel nice around pretty girls. And so she asks like, hey, who's here for the first time? And, I raised my hand. And there were like 4 other people there who were there for the first time. I was like, okay, cool. She teaches us the parts of the reformer that we need to know for that day's class. That's another thing I was like super anxious about. Like, oh my God, how do I know how to move the machine? And right after that was the panic attack of like, how do people know what the next workout is? Because when you look at a Pilates class from the outside, it looks like there's a well-oiled machine. Like you see them, they do their little thing and then they stand up and then they're pulling things. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck? So during the Pilates class, obviously I learned that while you're doing one workout, the instructor is literally explaining what the next thing is to do. And that's why it looks so swift and nice or whatever. Let's cut to the middle. A bitch was dying. I cycled through four emotions. Wow. I cycled through 4 emotions throughout the whole workout class. It was, this isn't that bad. Oh my God, a bitch is dying. I'm going to kill myself. And no, I'm literally a bad bitch and nothing can stop me and I can do anything. That was every time I was able to look in the mirror. Because that's one thing. Being right in front of the mirror and looking at yourself, because like, I'm not going to lie, some of these little motions are a little suggestive. And I was like, hey, who is that? That is me. Hello. And I'm going to follow that up with the fact that no one is looking at you. No one cares about you. When you are doing a Pilates class, everyone is so focused on breathing and doing the damn movement. They don't give a fuck about you. Because that's another thing I was scared of. I get like performance anxiety. Like I have never played a sport that needed me to perform in front of a team, not in front of a team, in front of an audience. Because I'm like, oh my God, like people are looking at everything that I'm doing. Can you stop it? I'm sorry. My dog was licking his feet and his genitals. So, yeah, so they're not looking at you. That made me feel amazing. Something that fucked with me a little bit was, okay, I don't know if you guys know. I've told you guys in previous episodes, but for those of you who are new, I have terrible hearing. I can't hear shit half the time. I say what 6 times, I still didn't hear you. So as soon as the class started, the girl had her, the instructor had the mic on and she's talking. She's like, hey guys, blah, blah, blah. And I'm noticing like the words she's saying aren't super clear. And that made me really nervous because I was like, oh my God, I have to rely on the girls next to me and copy whatever they're doing because I don't think I can hear this girl too well. And it's not because I can't like really hear her, but she's saying words that like I'm not expecting to hear in a Pilates class. Like she's like, guys, let's do the mermaid. And I'm like, what the fuck is the mermaid? So what didn't help is that the girl next to me, she was doing modified versions of every workout because she didn't want to do the most intense ones. And then the other girl on my other side, it was her first time. So I was like, fuck, I can't copy anyone. Like I have no one to help me out. So I did my best. And I think I did a good job. I'm not going to lie. I probably, for half the workouts, that's okay, hold on. Let me bring it back a little bit. I walked into that room and there was a big TV screen and there were like 30 workouts on there. And I'm like, this class is 45 minutes. What the fuck do you mean we're doing all these workouts? I was flabbergasted. I could not believe my eyes. So, with that said, for about half the workouts, I would say I cheated out of like 3 seconds of those workouts out of half the ones that I did because that shit hurts. It's painful. It's really painful. But I think that for my first time, I got through it pretty well. I was definitely like, and then, even before we hit the halfway mark, I was here thinking like, oh, okay, we're getting close to the end. And this girl says, no, we are a few seconds from finishing the first half of the class. You guys are going to get what I thought was a 50-second water break. She said 15. I said, what? I couldn't even guzzle as much water as I needed in that moment. I was like, are you 15? 15 seconds? Atrocious. I couldn't believe my ears. I mean, honestly, I never could. I never hear anything correctly. And I was like, oh, like I sat down on a little room. I was taking my little sippy sip. She was like, okay, guys, back up. And I said, what? So, for those of you who have never been to a Pilates class, drink a whole lot of water before, sneak in your water wherever you can in between, and drink a shit ton when you leave. And for those of you who are like me, who, do mainly leg workouts, the leg section of the class, at least for this one that I did, was nothing. I was flying through that. I was like, okay. So that's another thing. If you're going to be taking these classes, I feel like you have to take at least 10 to get comfortable enough with the reformer to know what workouts require what type of resistance. Because if I knew that the leg sections were going to be as light as they were for me, I would have upped up the resistance. Like there were certain things we were doing and I was like, are you for real right now? Really? That's it? So that's that. But I will say, there are some like movements in Pilates that look really fucking cool. Like I was in the air for one. Like, whatever. I'm just going to explain it. If you understand, you understand. If you don't, you don't. And if you don't, imagine something even cooler than what I'm saying. So you got your hands on a bar and then you got one leg on the moving thing. They call it a carriage. This is me learning my little vocabulary. And that foot is going to lunge back and your other foot is on the floor. So you keep doing your lunge. Ow! I just hurt my pinky really bad. Ow! But the nail is still on. Because I have the best nail tech in the world. If you need an amazing nail tech, go to Slade by Stella in Fresh Pond. Okay, anyways. Ow! It's okay though. We're fine. So, like I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, yes. So your leg is on the carriage thing and that leg is moving back in the lunge and your other foot is on the floor. But then if you want to spice it up, once that leg comes to the front of the lunge, like the leg that goes back, once it comes to the front, you stand on that leg and you kick your foot that was on the floor all the way up and you're almost doing like a slight muscle up on the bar and you like fly up. I was like, oh, this is nice. This Like somebody from the outside would watch and think that I was a Pilates instructor, actually. Um, but yeah, so then the class was great. And then for the last minute, it gets really fucking intense. They give you a finisher of some sort, and I already forgot what the movement was, but I know that I was dying. And then the lights turn red for the last minute, and I'm like, this shit's intense. And then as soon as that minute ends, the instructor goes full on yoga instructor, and the lights turn like a nice lilac, and she's talking like this and placing little tissues at everybody's machine for them to wipe down their thing after they finish. And I was like, oh, what a nice little change of pace. This was nice. I very much enjoyed. And I leave and I didn't realize like people like to talk to the instructor. And I'm like, why are they talking to the instructor? Like, this wasn't a panel or anything. But I mean, I guess it's cool. It's nice to know your instructor. And I assume if you're going to be going often and you want to pick one that you want to go to often, you want to have a relationship with the girl who's watching you sweat for an hour a week. Or in my case, I'll probably do like 2 hours a week. So I finished the class and I'm walking home. It's a 30-minute walk. And I don't feel, well, okay, one, let me just, spoiler alert, I didn't go to the gym. And I felt dead. And not in the way that I usually do after a really hefty leg day. I was like lightheaded. I was surprised that I was able to walk home because like I felt very noodly, but also strong. I can't explain it. This was a very new feeling for me. But I liked it because it just proved to me that I was working things that I've never worked before or worked things harder than I have before. I think that's amazing. And I get home and then I get an email from the instructor with my name on it. So this is a personal email. And let me read it to you. Let me read to you what it said. Because, and it's not a bad thing, but what she said wasn't a bad thing. But I was just like, how did you know that I was me? Interesting. She said that, so the headline says, amazing job today. Hi, Erica. It was so nice meeting you in class today. Your energy was incredible. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or feedback. Hope to see you soon. Okay, very generic sounding email. But she said my energy was great. How would she know my energy was like, you don't send that to every person in the class. And this could be me overanalyzing, but some of you girls be overanalyzing a simple hello text from a dude, but neither here nor there. So I was like, but then I forgot that before you join the class, you have to set up an account and put your picture on it. So I was like, oh, this is a nice little like personalization thing of the class where like, I'm sure the instructor looks at all the photos or whatever and then sends little messages. And if you did stand out like, more than others, she would put like a little extra little song in there. And I was like, And then I was thinking back, I was struggling. I was definitely struggling more than anybody else in the class. But she saw me every time I pushed through because she would make a little comment and she'd be like, love to see you guys pushing through. Because she would say it as soon as I started moving again because I would just take a break. I'd be like, and I was like trying to talk to myself like, bitch, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. And I would just fucking go, right? Get into that plank, get into the pike, whatever the fuck I had to do. I was like, let's fucking go. And I feel like she felt that. I feel like she understood it. And I felt seen. And I was like, you know what? Not to be corny, but that shit was a little nice. That made me feel good. So to get some points there. Another thing, I never thought that working out in a group setting would be a thing for me ever. Like I said, the performance anxiety is very much a thing for me. But I do prefer it over having a one-on-one trainer because I don't know, having a one-on-one trainer, some people, they prefer that, they like it, they love it, great for them. Me, there's certain things that really piss me off. Like, you're watching me sweat. You're not even working out with me. You're not doing anything. You're just yelling at me, honestly. And I don't like getting yelled at because I'm going to yell back. And it just, I don't know. And something that really pisses me off, and this is even with my friends, don't count my reps. Like, I'm suffering here. You think I don't know I'm on my 8th rep and that I got 8 left? Shut up. Just shut up. And sometimes I like to forget which rep I'm on. But, like, I've worked out so often that I can stop counting and I know exactly what rep I'm on. So, I don't know, that's a little thing that it was an interesting thing for me, like learning, like, okay, I do like group classes. Another note for those who mainly do strength training, who never saw themselves doing Pilates, take a Pilates class. It's intense. It really is intense. Maybe for people who do like timed workouts, I would assume hit workouts do that, where like you time your sets and reps and no, not even reps. You do things for a certain amount of time. Okay, like maybe Pilates is for you. But if you've never thought about doing Pilates, I think you should. I really think you should because now I'm going to be doing it twice a week. I'm swapping out my upper body days for a Pilates day, and I'm adding an additional Pilates day to what was my original split. And I'm doing this because, hear me out. The next day, just one day, just one Pilates class, yo. So when I'm at the gym, I check myself out, as most girls do. I be checking myself out. So like I look at my body for like, you know, an accumulated 20 minutes a day, like super like intently all up in all my crevices, right? So I know how I look. I notice everything. I notice every single change in my body. I'm very aware of how I look and how my body folds and how it creases and where it doesn't and all that stuff. So I'm looking in the mirror and I look at my little, like, one thing about me, I'm wide from the front, but if you look at me from the side, like, you know, for lack of a better word, my butt pokes out and like my waist is like super small from the side. From the front, I go full on SpongeBob. I don't know why, but I'm working on it. That's why bitches in Pilates. So I noticed I had a little more shape. I was like, wait. That's not even my gym shorts sucking in my stomach. That's me. That's how my body's built. I said, wait. I've never seen this before. And I kid you not, my whole midsection, like all around, the whole circumference of my body was sore. I couldn't bend to the left, bend to the right, none of that. And it was an amazing feeling. The pain was the reward. I was like, okay, I was doing stuff. Like I just needed the proof that I was working something. But to see it the next day, usually that's the part that you like, you hold off on expecting. Like I don't expect progress from any program that I do until I'm a month in. Because I know that if I start looking for it too soon and I don't see anything, which is expected, then all confidence out the window. But I don't track my menstrual cycle. So that's another thing too. Like I don't know when I'm supposed to look my best and when I'm not. So I just wait the month entirely. I'm like, okay, I should look better than I did at this exact moment last month. But for the next day, I did not know how to feel. I was walking around the gym acting like I was the shit because I am the shit. At least for, the last 2 days, I'm the shit. I was like, no fucking way. I posted a picture, posted it on my podcast page, and I posted it on my personal because I was feeling extra confident. So I'm used to guys responding to my workout pictures. I don't care. I either leave them on red, just like the message, whatever. Like, depends how respectful you are what you're saying. Because if you want something like, damn, I'm like, okay, bye. But if it's like a workout related, no, I'm like, okay, cool. I don't 100% know what your motives are, but I'm just going to assume they're innocent. And that's usually what it is. That's usually all it is every time I post a workout photo. But when the girls start commenting, because girls, we don't comment unless we like what we see. Like, girls like my post, sure. But commenting, like replying to a story, unheard of. Yo, like 6 girls hit me up. And they were like, yo, I see it. Like, you're not bugging. I was like, oh! Don't feed my delusions. Because I was really, and then, wait, there's more. And like I said, I was a pound more than usual. So I gained weight. So to know that I look slimmer, but I'm more solid, woo! I'm about to be a fucking gymnast. Because if you look at a gymnast, have you looked at gymnast bodies? They're pretty flat chested for the most part, but they be having some legs on them. That might be the next move for me. No, actually no, because some of them they get a little manly in the face. But you picking up what I'm putting down. So yeah, I like how I look. And that's after a day of Pilates. One single day. So I'm about to get my little grippy socks in all the colors. And I'm going to get to moving and just, I don't know. One thing I will say, this is your sign to do something for the first time. because going into that Pilates class made me realize it's been a long time since I did something for the first time. Because that nervousness that I felt, like that like first day of school kind of feeling, that shit, like, it's not a bad feeling. Like, you're literally nervous because you're excited. It's not as much anxiety as you think. It's just more like, oh my God, I'm doing something new. What if I fail? But it's okay if I fail because I'm new at this. Like, there are literally no consequences if you suck because you're supposed to suck. So I don't know. That was a really like fun thing for me. And for those of you who do incorporate, fitness and all that stuff into your lifestyle, I do encourage you to just spice things up here and there, because if we're working out because we plan to live a long life, doing the same shit for the next 60 years sounds, well, whoa, let me not say 60. For the next 90 years sounds a little not so great. It feels icky to my heart and soul. So, yeah, get to the gym, do something new. If you do strength training, do calisthenics. If you do calisthenics, try fucking ballet. I don't fucking know. Or if you're a swimmer, try what? You know what I was gonna say? Oh my God, I was gonna say pickleball, but I know y'all don't take pickleball seriously. I pickleballed once for 6 minutes, and I swear I'm a champion. And that was it. It was my job did like a team bonding thing, and then it started raining, so we bonded over being sad over not being able to play pickleball. Super crazy side note. My bad. Anywho, join a Pilates class. Just do one, and a lot of them have discounts. The one I did, it was $20 for your first class. So do that. If you guys want to update on my nail that hurt me earlier, it's still intact. It just is sore. I just get scared when it's the pinky, because for my girlies who get nails, the pinky is usually the first to go. But it's okay, because the way that my girl does my nails, these bitches be on for like ever. So yeah, that is that. I hope you guys enjoyed my experience on my first time doing Pilates, because I didn't think I was gonna like it. And I'm actually, another side note, I'm actually recording this in the sports bra just so that you guys can see the progress the next time I talk about Pilates, because by the end of the summer, I'm going to talk about how my Pilates journey and stuff, affected my life, my body, and all that stuff. And I want you guys to see results, because I'm not a fucking liar. I stick to shit. So if you need an accountability buddy, you can even DM me, because I'm still not famous yet, so you guys won't get lost in the DMs. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's absolutely anything else about my experience that I think is worth telling you guys. Give me a second. This is your elevator music while I think about what to say next. Oh no, that was everything. Cool. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Please get outside, go be fit. The sun is out. Summer's here. Summer is fucking here. So please spend some time out touching grass, breathing air, soaking sun. Do that, because, if you're from New York, you only got just a little window. Even though that window is like 7 months, but that's just not long enough to get some sun and hang out with your friends, spend time with loved ones. And for those of you who watch my podcast consistently, my last solo episode, a bitch was depressed. And look at me now. So shit gets better. It gets better. As cliche as it sounds, it gets better. Okay? If you ever heard the phrase, this too shall pass, that's about both things. It's about good things and bad things. Shit's gonna pass regardless. So just live in the present. Love where you're at. Love the people where you're at. Do your best to not, sprinkle negativity on other people. Just don't shed negativity. Don't do that. Keep your negativity to yourself. And try to reframe, your mindset. Everything's perception, baby. Everything's perception. So that's all. I love you. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, or whatever your streaming or watching service tells you to do, because I appreciate it. And I will give you a big old virtual smooch on the lips if you do. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. And I just got a second wind of energy, and I'm sorry, but I will see you next week. Bye.